G'day YouTube, it's Sarah here, and we're doing another challenge video, my second out of this entire channel. What we're going to do is, as you can see, I got the abyss. Look at that, it's very round. Now one thing you got to know about me is I'm not very good at the abyss. I haven't actually done it in quite some time. I've got to be honest, I haven't done this in so long, because the furthest I've ever gone in the spiral abyss is like 12 floor 12, like chamber 3, right? But I haven't gotten all the stars. I get like, I don't know, 33 stars maybe. I don't even know if that's true. All I know is I haven't done well. I've been at once, and that was quite some time ago. I found that the abyss has gotten a lot more difficult nowadays with the enemies, and they've tried to make it a lot tougher. But one thing that I do want to do is a bit of a challenge where my main guys, so just so everyone knows, the people I tend to use in the abyss are not you, Hutal, you can get stuffed. I use Darluck, I use Sayu, I use Ayaka, I use Zhongli when I am scared of death, so frequently. A bit of Kazuha. I'd prefer to use him a bit more, but I don't use him as like a frequent one. I also like to use, I love Nahida. She's one of my favourite newer additions. Love her. I love Yilin. Look, I've got a couple of different options, but I've built them. I've built some of them pretty okay. Nothing schnazzy or anything like that, but you know, plus 20 with the proper artifacts and all that jazz, I think. But I'm also not really good at building characters, so today I say stuff it. I don't need any of these things. I don't need weapons and I don't need artifacts. Those two things can get stuffed today. So, gone, 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 gone. And your weapon, let's, ooh, what a good mitt splitter. Wow. Here we go. Perfect. So I'm going to do this times 8.
1 hour later.
Alright, perfect. Perfect squad. Now, let's go into the abyss. Wow, that's back in October. Damn, see, I told you it's been a while. And see, I didn't do great. So I could always just go straight into here. Ooh, look at all these. Where I got the rewards. But I don't deserve to even attempt to get these rewards if I cannot even beat these guys with my shitty team.
Hi, Future Sarah here to say, spoiler alert, yeah, it's actually very bloody hard to beat the Abyss using the weakest weapons and no artifacts, especially if you have no idea what you're getting into. But while past Sarah is being distracted with thoughts of grandeur about surprising herself and all of Hoyoverse with their upcoming epic gameplay, I'm here to tell you the story of why I hate myself and the choices that led me here. So, starting on floor 1, one look at who I was facing had me thinking this would be an absolute cakewalk.
Surely I can beat these guys with any team, right? Let me try to go for what I would consider a stronger team.
Looking back, should I have used my other level 90 Electro character over my level 80 Raiden? Sure, but clearly I didn't want to completely destroy the enemy, as that would just be too cruel. As one may expect, my Ayaka right away began demolishing the Electro slimes with ease and gave me an achievement for killing 4 opponents with Superconduct in just 2 seconds. So that's neat. I then finished the rest up with Darluck and, for some reason even I don't know, shocked myself at how easy it is to kill level 25 enemies with 2 level 90 characters.
1 hits? Far out.
On to Chamber 2 and it was very much more of the same. And for funsies, I took on a Hilichurl's arrow and felt like I was the boss I fought in the Fontaine Archon quest. And I then proceeded to end Chamber 3 with unnecessary flair. For floor 2, I used Ayaka, Zhongli, Nahida, and Shinobu. Honestly, pretty disappointed by Zhongli in base form, not much damage there, and as a Geo character, he just refuses to play nice with other elements, so don't expect him to show up much more in this video. Now floor 2, Chamber 2 was very interesting. Since it's been so long since I've done the early floors, I can't recall it ever being completely filled with water, so knowing I had Ayaka, I knew I was going to clear it.
You guys are stuffed.
As I am hardly one to think ahead in this game, I didn't realise Shinobu's healing ability was going to not only electrocute my enemies, but also myself. Who cares? Compared to these guys, I am a literal god, so I can't be harmed. Wait, hang on. Why is the monolith's HP going down? Oh god, no. Not the electrified water! Ah! Oh wait, hang on. I'm done. Just like I drew it up. Continuing on to Chamber 3. Ooh, another achievement. And it's gone. Upwards and onwards. Floor 3. With floor 3 being all about swirl damage, it was finally Sayu's time to shine and hang on. I'm done? Nice. Right before I jumped into floor 4, I removed the valuables from Kazuha, Alhythem, Jean, Beidou, and Jinsho, just so I had some more options at my disposal. As floor 4 had a bonus for electro damage, I brought in Beto right away alongside Raiden, Yelin and Alhytham. Even though this chamber is designed for electro damage, the fact I had Hydro Slimes made Alhytham look far more impressive than he actually is. I was ready for Beto to look equally badass as I just had to wait for someone to attack her and okay, sorry, of course. Let's try that again. I was primed and ready for my Beto to look like a complete and utter badass by taking on an attack from an Abyss Mage and... Oh, you're just making bubbles? That won't attack me? You know what? Fine. Just finish this chamber, Alhytham, please? Thank you. Alright, chamber 2. Brand new opportunity for enemies to hone in on Beto and try their darndest to kill her and... Damn, forgot they focus on the goddamn monolith. But at least Alhytham is a sure bet so far on this floor and why did you move? Okay, fine. I beat chamber 2 and made my way to chamber 3, and at this point, nothing worked. I brought in Yelin into a floor with a shit ton of Hydro Slimes, I forgot to bring in a healer, which is not like me, and Beto just had the worst luck imaginable where, hey, the hero! Ha! Beto, you had your chance and you blew it. Finish it up, Alhytham and Raiden. Please. Floor 5, aka the first time we are graced with 2 teams. Yay! That means it'll take even longer to finish. But Parcera did not care.
Ooh, now we actually get to do the top importance. First half, second half. Alright, now we get into the fun bit. Now we get into what I enjoy.
Yeah, fun when you actually get to have a built team that can plow through enemies super quickly. Team is filled with Nahida, Yelin, Raiden and Sayu, or as I like to call them, the Reaction Squad. As I use the first 3 as an elemental setup for Sayu to just roll around in a ball and cause havoc and mayhem. And Team is Ayaka, Dialog and just some randoms. So, Chamber 1. I've got my dream reaction squad with me and shit. I should have looked at the enemy list first, shouldn't I? Okay, change of plans. Team Uno is Dialog, Kazuha, Shinobu and Jincho, while Team Due is the reaction squad. So look, now I do have a better team synergy this time against these enemies, but just starting floor 5 has shown me that this challenge is actually starting to put pressure on my team, and Parcera can put this best.
Okay, still gonna take a while, but that's alright.
I'm doing... fine, but jeez, it's taking a fair bit of time to clear this chamber, and it's chamber 1. Like, it's taking me close to 3 minutes to beat these enemies at level 55. I can't imagine how difficult it's going to be to beat round 2 when I just had to take on 20 enemies and I only have to beat 2? And they're just Abyss Mages? What even is this difficulty curve, man? So yeah, I beat the second half of chamber 1 in under a minute. Look, I know beggars can't be choosers, I know that, but did they really have to make my level 90 Darlock look that bad? But well, once Sayu has stopped spinning, we'll move on to the next chamber and...
Hang on, I can't allow myself to have not achieved 3 stars. I just can't allow that to happen, not yet.
So I create a new team with Blackjack and Hookers. Oh wait, no, not those. I'm just chucking in Zhangli and kicking out Jincho, because in hindsight, adding in a Hydro character against Ice Lines isn't the greatest of ideas. Right away, you can see the Zhangli and Guoba tag team is killing it, and this time, it only takes me a minute and a half to complete. See? I'm learning. And for the second half, it takes me even less time somehow, like around 20 seconds worth. What the hell did Guoba feed everyone? Either way, 3 stars achieved. Chambers 2 and 3 were a cakewalk, especially Chamber 3 for some reason. Like, why is the first half only against 3 enemies? It only took these guys 17 seconds. For floor 6, I brought in Darlock, Zhangling, Zhongli and Jean for Team 1, but it's gotta be said, I took my sweet old time completing the first half of Chamber 1. Like seriously, 5 minutes? Jeez Louise, that's just a tad concerning. Luckily for me, the 3 stars requirement for this chamber, for some reason, just meant I had to have a challenge time over 2 minutes. So yeah, Reaction Squad was able to save my sorry ass there. It seemed like more of the same for the first half of Chamber 2, and something tells me having Zhongli, a character who is basically just a shield, a very impressive shield mind you, was really slowing down my ability to quickly mow down enemies. So, in typical Zero fashion, I spat the dummy.
Now, this is taking too long. This is taking far too long. So fucking long. I'm just gonna straight up use other characters. Oh fuck, sorry.
For the actual restart, I realised that Kazuha is actually really handy for fights against all these enemies that like to piss me off and spread themselves around the arena, so he came in and made things a lot easier as I shaved an entire minute off my last attempt. The team also felt better for Chamber 2 and it felt nowhere near as punishing as my first go at it. I was then able to just demolish the rest of the floor with ease as my true reward was beckoning me in the real world. It's dinner time! Woo! After getting fed, cultured and showered for the night, I was now ready to take on floor 7, but there was just one problem.
It's still really hot. I'm so sweaty.
Yeah, it was like 30 degrees at like 9 PM, so not exactly peak gaming weather, you know? And it really didn't help that I had to fight the Fatui. In particular, this icy fuck who was just laughing at me knowing I was spoiling where I sat. I realised the reaction squad with a freshly weakened official just wasn't cutting it, so I switched to the reaction squad with Darlark and friends, and even got rid of official to bring in Zhang Ling to my reaction squad because, for some reason, Icy Pole was a mainstay in both enemy squads. Both teams made pretty quick work out of Chamber 1, is what I would like to say if I didn't lose a star and had a reaction squad on the brink of death. Nonetheless, reaction squad beat Chamber 1 and I had an epiphany.
Oh man, how close was I? No, let's do that again. I can't let that be it.
Still clinging to the I need to have 3 stars for all floors before I reach level 9 notion, I challenged Chamber 1 again, and again, but this time bringing in Ayato to Team 1 and realising, hey, Ayato's actually pretty good. I'm making pretty decent time right now.
Oh, I think I figured out why it's going so much faster. It's like, oh, this is great. Look at him go. He's really just killing it. He's really just, hang on, I did the wrong thing. Just like, he's just killing it. I was like, oh, it's gone so much faster with him. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. He's got all the artifacts on. He has a sword. Look at that. You can't use that.
Disposing of what made Ayato strong, I re-entered floor 7 for the 4th time and things were back on track, i.e. I was back to being shit. I quit again and hoped that 5th time's a charm as I kicked out this pretender for the true Kamisato champion. I cleared the first half with ease and made my way to the second half and...
Nahida died.
We managed to scrape 2 stars on my 6th go, and at this point, I just thought I had to take it. My hopes and dreams of a perfect run until floor 9 just wasn't a reality for me at this time. So, after taking far too long getting my shit together for 2 stars, I made my way to Chamber 2 and oh god damn it, why is it that I always must see your stupid face in my nightmares, huh? I completed Chamber 2 with yet another disappointing 2-star performance, and I beat up the Fatui one final time in Chamber 3 and... Why are there only 3 Fatui this time for each enemy squad when the other 2 had 5 each? And why have I now gotten 3 stars in what should have been the hardest chamber on this floor? I don't even know anymore. I don't want to find out why. I was frustrated, hot, sleepy, had to get up for work the next morning, so I called it a day there and returned the next day with the hope that I only had to go through one more floor until I hit the big leagues.
Day 2. Woo!
Woo indeed. What I did not know was that day 2 would bring me nothing but despair. Floor 8. I decided to give Beidou another shot, because this time, her perfectly timed E will work and...
Oh no!
Take a back seat on this one, Beidou. Leave it to Ayaka and Darlark and he's dead.
When the fuck did you die?
What is with it and these icy fucks being the bane of my existence? Now I've brought in Zhang Ling because you're pissing me off, dude.
Good. Nice, solid. See, that time we went in with a plan of attack. Now we're using our noggin.
And use my noggin I did. Granted, the second half was much easier as I didn't have to worry about freezing all the goddamn time. And yes, I am still salty as fuck about that. Chamber 2 was relatively fine, although I did have to avoid the Beyblades. Beyblade, let it rip! Yeah, the ruin guards really ate away at my time there. That wasn't exactly what I wanted, and it did cause me to have my first no-star chamber of this challenge, but I'm just glad I made it out alive, to be honest. But now came my toughest foe yet, also known as the easiest bosses in Genshin, the Regisvines, or as I like to call them, the big plants. Sure, I could easily destroy the Cryo Regisvine's core with Darlark and Guoba, no issue there, but killing the actual plant? Yeah, no, not exactly the quickest thing to do if your team isn't built. It sure as hell took the longest time to actually kill the thing, but at least I was being good and no one was getting hurt. Shinobu! I don't know how, but she clung to life twice. And as a wise Sarah once said,
This is important. This is necessary. This is necessary. Oh god, okay. Gotta heal the healer.
but Shinobu wasn't the only one almost dying. No. Xiangling also wanted in on the action, which would have been awful because Guoba has been the best thing since sliced bread, just sitting there and breathing out fire like tankies. I may or may not have been super greedy at one point trying to hit off another one of Xiangling's bursts in between the plant's attacks, and, well... So, yeah, I'm really killing it right now, and I'm not even halfway. What are you made out of? Impenetrable steel? 6.5 minutes later, I finally beat Chamber 3. Oh, no, sorry. I meant I finally beat the first half of Chamber 3, and now I have to beat another plant. I had a lot more difficulty this time around destroying the Pyro Regisline's core, because I kept on wasting time trying to shoot a Hydro arrow at it, which, didn't always work the best. But this time, Reaction Squad is killing this plant faster than Team Numero Uno, so I miraculously beat this plant in around 2 minutes, which is not too shabby considering my absolute shit job in the first half.
Oh, that was stressful.
Now, with floor 8 done, it is time to move away from the baby floors and put on our big girl panties to take on the real abyss, starting with floor 9. I was feeling great, I was feeling fresh, I was feeling like I could take anything and anyone on. My first attempt, Team 1 was Dialuk, Ayaka, Kazuha and Dori, because I like having an electro healer that doesn't try to kill herself while healing others. I'm looking at you, Shinobu. And Team 2 is Reaction Squad, filled with Nahida, Yeelin, Fischl, and the MVP, Sayu. Chamber 1, first half, it was pretty clear that while I was able to effectively hit the enemies and swoop them all up using Kazuha's skill, I wasn't making any quick progress in taking down the enemies. But at this point, there is no point in wishing to get all the stars for each floor, and just surviving is a perfectly fine goal. And gotta say, Sarah was pretty ecstatic about the results.
This is going so well. Oh, look at the time. Whoa.
With the first half being a cakewalk, I was confident in the lead I had brought to the second half of the chamber. Unfortunately for me, I struggled with crowd control for Reaction Squad, as the little robots would just zoom off whenever they damn well pleased, whereas the Nobushi would also run away. The cowards. I also didn't think I had any hard hitters available, so I exited out of this attempt and went back for attempt number 2, this time with Team 1 being unchanged, and I swapped Yeelin with Ayato to see whether his burst would be good enough to capture all enemies, and Fischl with Raiden to see if she was a heavier hitter. This time, the second half felt a lot better. I was able to get far more elemental reactions, which we love to see, and I truly felt like I had a bit more control than before. I've got to say, Ayato is a ton of fun, especially when pairing him with Nahida and Raiden. Who knew 2 Archons made a character actually play better? With persistence, we finally beat Chamber 1, with 2 stars mind you, and away we went onto our next chamber. But Chamber 2? Well, Chamber 2 was, quite simply put, hell! A mixture of hydro freaks and nice bugs meant I was constantly on edge of being perma-freezed until I said uncle. And the enemies? They would just follow you, right up your ass like the prick who drives way too close to your car's rear. But just when you think you're done facing the freezing wall of death, you're confronted by this Robotop who does some pretty sick breakdancing moves.
The fuck?
And, excuse me, cheater alert, why is the game telling me I've defeated 9 out of 10 enemies when I can see there's an enemy over there? I decided to head on over to see whether that coffee tray was weak and if it counted as an enemy, and lo and behold...
Then what the fuck's the point of that if it doesn't count? What the fuck? What's the point? You don't get an extra one for no reason? What the fuck?
Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I was less than pleased. I eventually ended the robo fight and only left Team 2 with 4.5 minutes to complete their side of the chamber. Reaction Squad faced Pyro Slimes and Crabs, which honestly wasn't too bad, and then came face to face with the Robo Boyo and his buds. However, this time, I had important intelligence up my sleeve.
Okay, well this time I know not to go for the bloody extra.
which I took to heart, as this time when it came down to the robot and the stall, I focused the last bit of time I had on taking down the actual threat. But, unfortunately, I made a grave error of judgment.
No. Now what?
While I killed the robot, I was stuck in a dilemma.
Well, I've got to retry. No, I've got to at least give this an attempt. I just got to at least try.
And it was that decision which was probably the most influential one I made of this entire run, as without it, I would have never come face to face with the impossibility that is Chamber 3. And no, I'm not referring to these Mr. Shells. Don't be ridiculous. No, they were fine. But Robogunner and Neuromage? Yeah, they were literal brick walls that I could not overcome. I actually spent the rest of the challenge time for both halves just trying to kill these two. However, my Ayaka was no match and she was taken from me. I managed to take down the robot, which was a minor consolation as I knew I would not be able to finish this chamber and floor. While trying to finish off with one final blow, Kazuha's life was taken from him midair, which I was absolutely devastated by. Dialogue and Dory were oh so valiant in their efforts to subdue the witch, but alas, time was not on our side, and we whimpered to a sad defeat, courtesy of time. And I failed. And Toyoverse ever so kindly pointed out all of my faults.
Weapon level strength and artifact strength are that low? Wow. Whoa, I am shocked.
And you know what complete and utter failure requires? That's right! Dinner time, baby! Number 2! Yoo! And that was the last moment of joy I experienced for day 2. From my last attempt, I actually read something and saw that vaporized reactions are all the rage right now. So I de-kitted Kokomi, who hasn't been fully built anyway, so it's not like I'm making her that much weaker or anything. So attempt number 3 involved the same 2 teams, but I swapped out Dory for Kokomi, and it was full steam ahead as my 2 teams took out the first chamber with 2 stars remaining yet again. But for chamber 2, I really struggled in the first half. It seemed a lot tougher than my last attempt, and it felt like the enemies were just not even letting me breathe. As such, I made a rash decision and decided that Kazuha was the problem.
No, I'm getting rid of Kazuha. I don't think there's a need for him. I need him out. I need him gone.
I brought in jungling for Kazuha and also decided to tamper with the reaction squad while I was at it, cause I was seduced by the mayhem that is Klee. In came Klee and Shinobi for Raiden and Sayu, cause I truly love chaos and changing a team that did pretty good the last time. Attempt 4, it was only chamber 1, but I wasn't doing too great to be honest. Didn't even feel like I was getting anywhere compared to the other tries. So I retried it for attempt number 5.
I don't even retry.
There, did you hear that? That's the sound, dear viewers, of my audio recording giving up on me, just like I should have on this attempt. And no, I did not realise my commentary was no longer recording for another 20 minutes. So yes, I was speaking into the void for a while. What of it? Ominous signs aside, I wanted to see what it would be like to include Sucrose in Team 1 and see whether Animo was a good choice for the team. Onwards and upwards, it's time for attempt number 6. Gotta say, Sucrose is a ton of fun when you use her skill and burst on multiple opponents. But I am 2 minutes in and I haven't even killed one enemy yet. Oh yeah, did it. Okay, yeah, I get it. Maybe I shouldn't have used Sucrose. That's fine, I guess. For lucky attempt number 7, I decided, fuck it, dual hydro baby. And look at them, working in tandem like a charm. Or maybe not. I gave up again. Honestly, I don't even know why it stopped. However, looking back, I'm pretty sure I quit because there's just no crowd control whatsoever, and I'm just making Yelan run laps around the school oval. So get your ass back in here, Kazuha. Yeah, I think the constant changing around of my team made me realise just how important Kazuha is for a challenge like this. Even without a good weapon or artifacts, his ability to recharge his already OP skill is just next level. And finally, we made it out of the hellhole that is Chamber 1, half 1, and now it's Klee's time to shine. Yeah, I really like that Pyromaniac, especially coupled with Ayato's burst. So, with the new Dream Reaction Squad, we finished off Chamber 1 with these, and why do I only have 1 star? Why on earth was I so slow this time? It doesn't really matter. At this point, I'm just too tired to look too deeply into anything, so on to the next. Finally, Chamber 2. It's been so long, and now that I'm here, I can finally think to myself and ask myself the important questions, such as what on earth compelled me to choose 2 Hydro characters against enemies immune to Hydro? Look, I know I was tired at this point in the recording, but seriously, past Sarah? Seriously? Oh look, 1 death out of 10 at the 3.5 minute mark. That can only be a good sign. I tried to persevere for another couple of seconds because I really didn't want to go through Chamber 1 again, but I just knew there was ultimately no way in hell I was going to complete the first half of 10 minutes. Attempt 9. I finally kicked out Kokomi because I was doing much worse with her every time I had her in the team, so I brought back Dory for the Electro Elemental support. I'll be honest, I have a ton of fun with Dory, ain't even gonna lie. Sure, it's annoying having to wait for my burst to actually heal anyone, but her skill is still useful for reactions, and we killed everyone in 2 minutes. Thankfully, I had no issues with the second half either, and looky what we have here, 3 stars. Wow, looks like my fortunes are changing, huh? No, of course it was never gonna be that easy. Yet again, I struggled with the first half of Chamber 2, even though I thought my team was actually much better this time around. And as such, I cut my losses and quit. Yet, again. Attempt number 10. This time I give Ganyu a go, and hey, Sayu, what are you doing up there? Why aren't you with the reaction squad? Jumping ahead to Chamber 2, Ganyu was a godsend, as she was able to distract the enemies with her skill, and her burst really helped a shit ton in keeping those watery buggers stationary. Oh, would you look at that? I have beat Chamber 2's first half. Yay. However, the randomised reaction squad did not do as well as their counterparts, as my healer died much sooner than I'd have liked. So I backed out yet again. But this time, I only hit retry because I was confident that these were the teams that could get me to beat this chamber once and for all. Or maybe it was just because I didn't want to go through Chamber 1 again if I could help it. Who knows? I got through the first half of Chamber 2 again, albeit much slower than my last attempt, and left Team 2 with a very little chance of winning. But nonetheless, I wanted to see whether this team could beat these enemies, or see whether I needed to swap out any of these characters. Predictably, I couldn't beat the chamber in time, and I jumped right back in and... Hang on, did you see that? Past Sarah hasn't seen it yet. But she will. What was it again? Ah, yes. Attempt number 12. But does it really matter at this point? Because I quit that attempt too. Don't know if you can tell, but at this stage, I am over it. Attempt 13. Squad 1 barely scrapes the win over the 5 minute mark. Not that it would have mattered, because Reaction Squad just kept dying. And thus, my first chamber where everyone on my team died before the time ran out. And to top it off, past Sarah finally realised she had accidentally been cheating, and as you can tell by her chilling on the game over screen for far too long, that she is shocked. Or exhausted. Probably exhausted. I was up very late on a Friday recording this. I went through my characters, seeing who was the culprit. I found her, officer! That one over there! Honestly, I am kinda mad that I didn't do better at floor 9, considering I took nothing away from Ganyu. Maybe it's a sign that she's just not the character for me. With that shocking error, I knew my time was up. If I couldn't even beat this floor by cheating, then what hope do I have to follow my own self-imposed rules? But my pride refused to allow me to end on a bitter note like that. No, I must end with some form of dignity, if I had any left. And thus, attempt number 14 was my last. Would this be my triumphant return to Chamber 3? Would I finally be able to look in that Mirror Mage's eye one final time and say she would not be able to kill me within the 10 minutes? Of course not. You're not stupid. You've seen how this video has gone so far. I barely beat the robo bitch with 30 seconds left, and of course it had to end like this. Reaction Squad had no chance in hell. But hey, at least I gave it a go without cheating. It's the small wins, you know? So that's my limit right now. Floor 9, Chamber 3 was my best, albeit a fluke. This challenge would definitely go a lot better in the future if I had more characters at level 90 than just the 5 of them. Would I do this challenge again? Absolutely. but no way in hell would I do it again anytime soon. I mean, damn, this took me over 2 weeks to film and edit. Granted, I was put off by the sheer thought of editing the almost 5 hours of footage that I got, but I digress. Next time, I will come back stronger. Believe it. Until then, I must admit my defeat to the abyss. You're fine, Kalai, get up.